What's going on, guys? tjkousa here, back with an unboxing and a review of a shoe that I do not have in my collection yet. It's from one of my favorite skateboarding brands, DC Shoe Company USA. And let's just not waste any more time. But it's been a long time since DC put out I call this the skater or the face box, like the face Jordan box. You got Kayla's doing a switch backside tail there, and as you can tell, this is the DC Truth in the collaboration with ben.g skateboard shop, a skateboarding shop in Amsterdam. They have collabs with other brands such as Nike SB, and the reason I got this shoe is because they took one of my most coveted colorways. Before that, let's get into the paper, which is basically just a ben.g paper, but let's just, you know what it is, it's basically just the dog for the ben.g skateboard shop. But sorry, so it looked like, there you go, you can see that dog, it's right there. And this is, like I said, one of the most anticipated shoes for me from DC for this year, because the most coveted I'll stop doing those clips, but one of my most coveted colorways of the DC Truth, which I do not have yet in my collection, but we finally have a pair to show off to you guys. So this is Josh Kalis's second pro model after the Kalis OG or the Kalis ones. Design language is almost similar to the Kalis ones, but obviously they made some changes for the ben.g version. But this, like I said, is an OG colorway with the black, the red, and the gray. Let's see, it's here, it says black, white, red. So this is essentially just the black, white, red version, but an OG colorway. Like I said, another one is the navy ones that we released around April of this year, which I didn't manage to get. Long story about that. But this, like I said, is a collaboration with ben.g skateboarding shop. One of the major changes that they did was the patent leather for the red sections, and also the gray sections is a reflective material with ben.g skateboarding shop logo. Let's go over the features of the shoe. We've already gone into ben.g skateboarding shop. We've already talked about how this is Kalis's second pro model, and I dare say that this is a great follow-up, if not better, to the first model. So one of the features that they carried over from the Kalis OG was the Pale toe cap on the toe and the heel, and also the lace loops, multi-lacing options basically. But they carried that design language over from the Kalis one, and you could see how like the toe is also designed similarly with the white mesh underneath and the what used to be the reflective paneling. You have a slight change up with the DC logo, white mesh underlay. The gray section is reflective ben.g, just right there. Nice little patent leather red section underlying that black portion of the shoe. On the midfoot portion, you have black nubuck, very short haired. Nice little breakup in materials from the toe to the heel. DC logo just right there, stitched up, no jewels whatsoever. On the heel, you've got the same Pale toe cap, DC just right there, as a synthetic leather pull tab on the heel, decently sized. You can just get your finger through there to put on the shoe. White mesh on the heel. On this side, usually you would have like an air vent for most of Kalis's shoes, but you do not have that. Instead, what you do have is perforations on that nubuck portion just right there. Same thing with the toe, and same thing on this side basically. For the laces, you have a very interesting choice of laces, which is like this two-toned, I don't know, I think like Kobe's shoes had this at some point, but basically it's this two-tone lace which kind of breaks up the colorways and matches it with the black part of the shoe. The ben.g reflective panel just right there, centering the tongue. On the top, you've got a rubberized DC logo, very nice and rubberized. On the top, you've got this lycra neoprene section making up the top part of the tongue, and that tongue is like nicely tipped. On the inside, starting with the back of the shoe, back of the tongue, you have a red backing with the size tag just right there. Lining of the collar, nicely padded, but it's white, so it's going to yellow and going to just not look pleasant over time. It's gonna start yellowing and you're gonna have sock bubbles visible on it, but hey, can't be winning them all, right? On the inside, you've got, I can't pull this out, but you can see ben.g punya skate shop logo just right there. On this side, you have Kaelis's tray flip logo just right there. And on this side, the Kaelis tray flip side, you have ben.g shoe Amsterdam covering the footbed up until the toe. And on this side, you've got, with the ben.g logo, you've got DC Shoe Company going all the way across to the toe on a red sock liner. And like I said, that sock liner is not removable. If you want to put your orthotics, if you plan to skate this shoe, you're gonna have to do a little bit of work. Got tongue centering straps for both for both sides of the tongue to basically keep it snug and comfortable on the top of your toe or on the top of your foot. What others? Okay, so now let's get to the midsole section of the shoe. Midsole. You've got a nice runner toe design carrying over from the Kaelis one. This one is done up in black. On the ollie section, or the abrasion part of the shoe, you've got like this square pattern in that gray section, which is basically where you're going to be doing your ollies, kick flips, and all of that. You've got a stabilizer which doesn't ride up too high. That is going over to that new butt part of the shoe. And when you do sit inside of the shoe, let me just check. So when your foot is inside of the shoe, you actually sit just right around here. So this part here just sort of cradles and acts as an anti-inversion system, basically to ensure that you don't roll over the footbed. A white midsole, sorry, a white EVA polyurethane midsole. This is just colored differently. It's not a different section, but on the inside you have one of the most notable features of the shoe, which is the shock absorbing heel cushion, the airbag. Basically, we during the skate shoe wars era on Instagram, you've always wanted the airbag to come back, and now it's back stronger than ever. Most companies are starting to reincorporate air bubbles into their shoe because it brings back a nod to the 90s era fashion of footwear. And this is a 180 bag, as you can tell, similar to the Action KCK's, sorry, New Tech, going over to this side. So it's a 180 bag of a 180 airbag essentially. For the sole, you've got one of the most interesting sole designs. It's just herringbone pods sculpted, and it looks very similar to a Jordan 11 style pod, where you have pods on the toes, on the midfoots, and on the heel. And that is a very aggressive and deep herringbone pattern. You've got DC Shoe Company USA in white with red backing on the midfoot part of the shoe, of the sole, sorry. And you've got a DC logo done up in white on the heel, just right there. So that essentially is the whole review of the shoe. Just giving you guys a quick 360 look once again. If you skated around the same time that the DC video came out, I believe that this shoe is a shoe that you see on Kaelis's feet and other pro skateboarders' feet as well, because this, to me, aside from the Kaelis OGs or just the Kaelis at this point, this is another Love Park shoe that is synonymous with Kaelis just killing it and just ripping apart Love Park with Stevie Williams and all of the other Love Park gang back in the day. So I'm very excited to have this pair in my collection. Very, very, very happy that I managed to get this in time in a size US 9. US 10 is a little bit too long for me, so I hope that I could skate this down the line. Obviously, you can tell like just right there, like there's a little bit of staining already, and that's not me. I haven't worn this shoe yet. Just came in the mail on Thursday at my office. So that takes care of the review of the Keyless Truths in collaboration with Ben.g Skateboarding Shop in Amsterdam. This is your boy TJ Got Kicks 89. See you guys at the next one. Peace.